Hey guys, um, we actually did not have overtime. Well, I didn't have overtime this week. Some people did. I think they're kind of flip-flopping. And I thought about going camping, but I decided not to because I really want to dial in this patio, or rather balcony, so I can use it this winter. I want to be able to lounge out here. Now, you all don't know, but these chairs recline. And so I want to be able to sit out here and take a nap, and I never could do that because they were always up against the wall. So I kind of want to, I think really what I want to do is I want to put a screen out that way, okay? And then maybe plastic up about 6 feet to keep the wind off of me. And I just want to be able to, in all honesty, this winter I like to be able to sleep out here once or twice in my chair. Because y'all know I like to wake up outside in the morning. And so we'll see how that goes, okay? I'm not sure if my skills will allow me to do that, but we'll try. And I'll let you know. But this video is about what I call the dark side of Amazon. Not everybody who comes to Amazon belongs at Amazon, myself included. And that's why I call it the dark side. It's almost like, and if you've ever been somewhere and you just felt, I'm not going to say uncomfortable, but it just felt like you were the odd person out. I mean, you didn't speak the lingo, you didn't understand how things were because it was all new to you. That's how Amazon was for me. And just when I got used to ICQA and I started really feeling like, okay, I got this, the pandemic came and they sent me to packing. And I remember telling my sister, oh my God, Charlene, I mean, Amazon's got a back room and it's called the packing department. I said, oh my son, I said, it's terrible. But it's not really, but it, I mean, you know, first glance, yeah, it could be for you. So I thought we would talk about that. That's why I call it the dark side. Because not everybody who comes to Amazon has come from that environment, warehousing or factory. Remember, I was a professional housekeeper. We're talking dusting and vacuuming. Everything at Amazon was just so hard, literally and figuratively. And yet I would see all these little women, you know, 5 foot nothing, 100 pounds, whipping that heavy machinery, slamming those boxes, and I'm like, well, what's wrong with me? So for you, this is who this video is for. For people who were just like me when I started at Amazon and felt like I really don't belong here. Okay? So let's go ahead and talk some real truths. First of all, you all know that I have owned my own business for ever, almost 25 years. And even though the money was good, when you're an independent contractor, you have to basically pay for everything yourself. Health insurance, if you get hurt at work and you need time to recover, you need to have money in the bank because there is no short-term or long-term disability. If you want to do a 401k, I forgot what it's called, but you got to pay for that to have it set up. I mean, you pay for everything. It doesn't matter if you make $30 an hour. By the time you pay for all the stuff that you need, it's more like 15, you know, and let's not forget taxes. Taxes are almost 40% of an independent contractor's income. So you might work your ass off, but you got like hardly no money to show for it. And so what happens is you feel like you work so hard that you're going to spend what you need to spend to get the things you want. And the next thing you know, Uncle Sam's knocking at your door going, oh, I think you owe us a little bit more money. So yeah, that kind of happened to me, and fortunately for me, I got all my shit paid off, and I am good to go. But when you have a job like Amazon, and I mean, basically they give you insurance for $70 a month as opposed to $450 a month. If you want to have a 401k, they set it up for free for you. If you get sick, sure, you might go a week without an income, but the rest of it's covered by short or long-term disability. Man, there are some perks to having a job like Amazon. And it could be Amazon, it could be UPS, it could be FedEx, it could be any company in America that still takes very good care of their employees. So, you know, just, it's like I had 2 weeks of vacation this year. I'm not used to that kind of thing. I didn't know I had 2 weeks coming. When I got hired, they told me I had a week. I thought I would just have a week forever, because I'm not used to all of that. But let me tell you, I am starting to really like it. I'm liking the bonuses. I'm liking the raises. I'm liking the paycheck. I'm just loving all those things, and I don't miss being an independent contractor one bit. But in order to get those things, I have to be able to do the job. And that's where some of the problems come in, because my body is not used to this type of physical labor. And everybody says, oh, cleaning house is hard. No, it's not. Not for somebody like me, because one, I have speed, I do routines, I do systems. You know, it's like a dance. You figure out the best path through a house, and you stick to it. And that's how you decide how long you're going to be there and how much you're going to charge. That came natural to me. Driving a pit machine did not come natural to me. Going up 40 feet in the air did not come natural to me. It took me a moment to get used to all that kind of stuff, having to put on a harness. The biggest problem for me was gloves. Now, when I clean a house, I don't wear gloves. If I do a commercial property, I use gloves in the bathrooms only. The rest of the time, I don't wear gloves. To have to wear gloves for 10 hours, let's just say I couldn't feel anything. You know, I mean, I literally couldn't feel anything. I found it hard to use my handheld scanner because I felt like the gloves got in the way. Whereas people who have done this type of work, gloves are second nature. Okay? Tennis shoes. I don't wear tennis shoes in my personal life, except maybe camping. But as far as every day, no. I wore boots, I wore flip-flops, I wore sandals, or I wore loafers. I never wore tennis shoes. So when I had to start wearing tennis shoes, I just felt like I was slapping feet all over the place. I'm tripping over my own feet because it's so weird for me. Those are the kinds of things that just make you feel unsettled, you know? And one of the things I found out about Amazon is negativity is a no-no. If you notice, most of the people at Amazon are always hyper happy. I mean, even when they don't have a right to be, they're hyper happy. But they're smart enough to know, always stay positive. Because the moment you get negative, the negative things happen. If you get frustrated, negative things happen. If I got frustrated about something in my station, let's say the tape machine just blew up. If I got frustrated, dollars to donuts, the spiel machine would blow up, okay? I would have a whole stack of boxes that didn't have any kind of printing on them that I couldn't use, and I have to go get another one. My scanner would quit working. Negativity at Amazon is like death. I mean, so even when you want to cry, even when you want to just cuss somebody out, you can't do it because that negativity, whatever it is in Amazon, will feed on that. You know, that was something I had to learn, because I've always been one of those people that if something isn't right, okay, let's talk about it, okay, and then let's fix it. But if you tell me you can't fix it, that's just the way it is, well, that's hard for me to understand, because in my mind, everything can be fixed. But that's the difference from being a small business owner, where you have absolute control and you can fix any and everything, to being an employee at Amazon, or even a learning ambassador or a PA. You have no power. And while you may agree that it's a problem, there is nothing you can do to fix it. And when you tell me, well, I'm sorry, Sheila, there's nothing I can do about that, I'm like, really? I mean, the equipment's crap. You can't do something about that? I mean, how can I do my job with crappy equipment? Well, all these other people are doing it. Well, maybe they're used to crappy equipment. I'm not used to crappy equipment. I had to step back and go, you know what, Sheila? Either get with the program or move on. Okay? So, yeah, I still hate crappy equipment, but I realize it might be a fact of life, and do the best you can until things get better. One of the ways you can tell that you really don't belong there is in morning stand-up. And everybody is there, and you know, they got their harnesses on, they got their little plastic bag, and they got their water bottle, and you're still trying to get your stuff together, because people roll in Amazon. They're like in and out. When it's time to go, man, everybody's ready to go, and that parking lot is clear in 5 minutes, and then there you are, still sitting in your car, just trying to, you know, get yourself together so you can leave. You get left behind a lot. It's like, I don't know, it's like this herd mentality, and everybody's going in the same direction, and you're not keeping up. Now, maybe in the rest of your life, you're just fine. But when it comes to Amazon, you always feel like you're behind. You always feel like you're the person fumbling. It will mess with your head. You can go into Amazon a healthy, adjusted, I'm not going to say egotistical, but sure of yourself, because you have made your mark in life and you have done well. And Amazon will reduce you to second guessing everything. Because the things that work in Amazon are not things that you are used to dealing with in your real life. Especially if you've never worked in this type of atmosphere. I think the other day I said something about Amazon's time is different from the real world's time. The real world has 60 seconds in a minute. Amazon only has 45. And until you can work that out, you're always going to feel like you're running behind, and you're always trying to catch up. Another thing that will make you feel like you don't belong there is, let's say you start in the morning and everybody goes to their station, they turn on their computer, except yours is not working. So now you're wasting all this precious time trying to figure out why your computer's not working. Or your tape machine doesn't do what it's supposed to do. Everybody else is moving on, what I call lock and loading and throwing some boxes, and you're still trying to get your tape machine to work. Or your scanner. Everybody else is fine. Your scanner doesn't work. I'm not going to tell you how many times I went to work and I'm ready to work and I want to do a good job, and it just seems like everything that could go wrong went wrong. Now, I'm not a negative person. I always thought I was very, very positive, very straightforward, very realistic, very down to earth. At Amazon, you almost have to be unrealistically positive. When shit's going to hell, you can't say, well, shit's gone to hell. You have to say, no, it's okay, we can work it out. Even if you can't, that's how you have to look at it, because anything less than that is called negativity. It's a sometimes I say this, it's a jungle. It really is. And only the fittest will survive. And it doesn't matter what your personality is, what your moral code is. You have to be able to survive in that environment. Now, that environment it doesn't matter, it's got to be done. And basically, it's got to be done no matter what the circumstances are. At any cost, it has to be done. And when you look at things from it needs to be done no matter what, you open up a lot of gray areas. And for somebody like me, there were a lot of gray areas I didn't agree with. Let's say we have a priority. And let's say we had the item in the box was so big and so full that I felt like we really need to put more tape on it, because it might make it out the building, but it is not going to make it to your house if the UPS guy just bump it up against something else. I'm like, okay, we need to put another piece of tape on it. It's got enough tape on it, Sheila. We need to get it on this conveyor, and it needs to get on that truck. So you see, sometimes the ends justify the means. But do they really? And that's where I have problems sometimes, I understand we need to get it on the truck, but not in any condition, especially if it's not going to make it to the house. But that puts me in the minority, because I'm just a packer. When you move up the ladder, you need to look at things in that perspective. Whatever your job is, you need to get it done and pass it on to the next person. Doesn't matter how you get it done, gotta be done and passed on to the next person so they can do their part of the job. That's hard for me to do sometimes, and I find sometimes I get upset and I get frustrated. And I'm one of those people. If I get frustrated, I make mistakes. So if there's a problem, I need to solve it right away. Because if I let it continue on, then it just ruminates in my mind, and I start to lose my focus. And that's something I found out about myself a long time ago, which makes me an excellent problem solver, because I need to solve the problem. But people have different, what's the word I want to say? Different ideas of what problem solvers do. Some problem solvers go, just get it done. And then there's me who goes, okay, let's think it through and let's get it done so that it works out okay for everybody. Not all problem solvers needed to work out for everybody. They just needed to work out for them and their part. And you will run into some of that at Amazon. When it's all said and done, if you can handle things that aren't necessarily the way you would handle it or the way you would do it, if you can put some distance between what you believe and how management believes, then you get to cop the lolly and you get to have all the benefits they have. But if you can't put some distance between who you are and what needs to be done, then you lose. And I think that's the reason why Amazon loves military people, because they have learned to do that. They've learned to put distance between who they are and what they have to do to get shit done. That's something I am slowly learning. I still haven't learned it completely, but I am slowly learning it, which makes life at Amazon less frustrating for me. Um, but you will run into that, you know, just like you'll run into coworkers who are happy and smiley and all this, but basically they're only concerned about their numbers. I mean, you could work with somebody and it's just the two of you on, let's say, a line, just, you know, on your side of the line, it's just the two of you, and they will still cherry pick because while they like you, they like themselves more, okay? And they want to make sure they get their numbers, which basically leaves you with all the heavy stuff that's going to slow you down. You have to figure out how you're going to handle that. Because 9 times out of 10, the people who do this are really nice. So if you say something to them, they'll probably cry, you know, which I consider manipulative as hell. And that's the thing I have to keep in mind. They're not that nice or they would have never did this. So don't let niceness stop you from standing up for yourself. You have got to stand up for yourself, whether it be fellow employees or whether it be learning ambassadors or PAs. You have got to stand up for yourself. And the one good thing about Amazon is it will allow you to do that. If you have a beef with somebody, you have a right to bring it up. Amazon is not going to fire you for that. That's one of the things I learned about Amazon. It's almost like they created this jungle where only the fit survive. But if you have the balls to go, this is not right and I won't tolerate it, Amazon's like, oh, we got a fighter here. So no, you always stand up for yourself, okay? But you better be right. That's all I can say. You better be right. Okay. So I'm not sure if I'm going to end this here. So we'll see. But man, I'm going to just go back over what I recorded here because I really hope I brought out the flavor of what I was trying to impart on people who are coming in. So let me look at this and I'll be back. Okay, I looked at it, and you know what? I am going to trust my instincts. I don't know if I could redo this and make it any better, but I think that what I said to you was honest. It was from the heart. It was from my experience, and sometimes I didn't put myself in the best light. But you know what? I'm not perfect. I'm human, just like everybody and every one of you who's thinking about coming to Amazon. But I hope that my being honest about some of the things that I felt like I was up against and some of the feelings that I felt while, you know, being new at Amazon, I'm hoping it will resonate with you, not only new people coming in, but people who have already been here for 4 or 5 months and maybe still feel this way. It's entirely up to you whether or not you make it at Amazon. And right now, Amazon is one of the best jobs going. It's entirely up to you. Good morning. It's a new day, my day off, and I've got my coffee. But I'd like to close this video with a few final thoughts. Now, Amazon is not easy, but then you have to take into consideration the scope of what we do. We supply the world. And that takes a lot of different skills, a lot of different personalities. And sometimes you're going to run up against some things that you don't agree with. But the bottom line is, things do need to get done. Okay? So as I said earlier, it's really up to you whether or not you make it at Amazon. But I can say for me, when I first came, it was a lark, and then I stayed because I needed to, and I'm here now because this is the best place for me, and this is where I want to be. So I went through some metamorphosis. Give yourself some time. If you don't walk in the door and immediately love it, give it some time. And I'll also give you this nugget. The example I gave you of working with a coworker who cherry-picked, that actually happened to me. And I didn't know how to handle it because I'm not a snitch by nature, but nor do I want to be left with the majority of work. So what I did was I actually went up to this woman and I said, you know, I really like you, but I don't want to work with you no more. Because when I work with you, I have to work too hard. And she laughed it off. And then I went to management and I said, I do not want to work with her as a team of two. If there are more people on the team, that's fine, but not just the two of us. They said, okay. They didn't ask me why. They just said, okay. And I have not been scheduled or however you want to say it, that we no longer work when it's only two of us on one side. Because you do have to protect yourself. But I feel like because I went to her and expressed my concern, even though she thought I was joking, I did go to her and express my concern, and I felt well within my right to go to management and go, oh, don't want to work with her no more. And they were well within their scope of power to make sure that didn't happen. So, yeah, it's not always easy. And, you know, I would love to sit here and say it's so rewarding because you're helping the world. But in all honesty, I have to sit here and say it's so rewarding because my bank account looks great. Okay, so it doesn't really matter why you come to Amazon or why you stay. The most important thing is while you are there, you do the best you can. Okay? So, I will keep you all informed on my screening in the balcony project and hope like hell I can work this out. In the meantime, I'll see you all in the next video. Have a great day, stay blessed, and it's a beautiful day. Get out and enjoy it. Bye.